Try that again. I'm gonna do a blooper reel one of these days. Welcome back to Southern Light Work. When my my mouth works. What that mouth do when I'm trying to talk and it's not coming out. I think because I was definitely focusing on lighting this Palo Santo and it being frustrating. I think I need to cut off the charred part. And you know, from the moment that I started reading, everything is significant. So something needs to be cut off, something dead or something. There's something that needs to be removed. I don't know why I'm hearing amputated is the word that's coming to mind. Something or somebody needs to be amputated. It's a strong word, I know, and it's usually in reference to an appendage of some type or something that has become gangrenous, or, you know, the tissue is no longer living, but it's still attached to a living human being. Gangrene sets in. Gangrene has set in on something. Some situation, some relationship. And that's not even why I came to do this reading. It was for a whole different reason, but, you know, somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needs to be amputated from your life. All right. So, that being said, what I was going to talk about today is something that just happened this morning, without making too much of a long story time, like I tend to do. The circumstances around like trying to buy plane tickets, because my family's going, well, my mom and I are about to go to a funeral. But just planning that travel has been, you know, kind of frustrating because it's at the end of the month. And, you know, even though, thank God, we are doing okay financially, but it's just, you know, it's always an unexpected expense when you have to go to a funeral, because they usually happen pretty fast. And unless it's in the same city or state, like, you have to spend some money on travel. So I'm just trying to, like, you know, move some things around and make sure that I was able to take care of it. And there was a moment at which, because I've been trying for the last couple of days, there was a moment at which I felt like, you know, maybe this is not going to work out. I'm going to have to ask for somebody to give me a loan or something, just, you know, until we get more income. But I remember thinking, God will make a way. So even if God is not your terminology, it's not your language, if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in a higher power, first of all, you probably would not be watching me, because that's what I talk about. It is undeniable to me. But I said, God will make a way. Or I said, no, specifically, God will provide. And I was talking to one of my other cousins who's also trying to make arrangements to go. You know, God, the Lord will provide. And when I said that, it's important to say it and really believe what you're saying, because I had to, in that split second, I reminded myself of all of the times in recent past, you know, I don't remember all of them, but in the recent past that God has provided for me and for my family. And it's inevitable if you believe it. If you believe it, like, truly do, I know this is going to happen. It sounds delusional in the moment, but I know it's going to happen. It happens. And it may seem like a little thing, but the download I just got while I was finishing my lunch with my mom was like, every time you release your fear and anxiety to source or to spirit or to God, to the Most High, you get immediate rewards. And this is going to sound stupid, but my Amazon order came early, a day early. It wasn't supposed to be here till tomorrow. They came today. I specifically remember choosing, you know how if you shop on Amazon, they give you an option to choose like a certain date if you want it the fastest. If you're a Prime member, then you can get it sometimes same day, sometimes by the next morning between a certain window. But you can also opt to be a little bit more environmentally friendly. And like, because these Amazon trucks and cars and individuals are on the road 24/7. And you can choose like the option where you wait a little bit longer and then they make fewer trips. And it's like, I forgot what they call it, but you can kind of get an incentive sometimes to give you a digital credit or something for opting to hold on. So I chose the option to receive it on Wednesday, and it came today. So it may not be that trivial, but when you release your fears and your anxiety to the divine, to the universe, to something bigger than you, and release it knowing that it's coming, that you still will have what you need, that you'll still get everything that you need, you get rewarded. And sometimes it's gonna be much bigger than your Amazon order coming sooner. So I just felt like I wanted to come here and use my new deck and also just to see what else that might mean for the collective. Because I think we need that. More than ever, we need that right now. We need something to hold on to, something to be hopeful about. Okay, so I'm thanking my ancestors, my cosmic ancestors, my earthly ancestors, my marine ancestors. I'm thanking my ancestors here with me right now. Myself as my own ancestor. My newest ancestor. I'll just use her initials, Miss CJ. Join the spirit realm. I'm ever so grateful to my spirit team, archangels that I work with, archangels Michael, Metatron, Gabriel, Raphael, Mary Magdalene, and please help me be a clear channel for whatever message is coming through today. That anything that is sent to me or anyone in this collective watching this, listening to this reading, anything that's sent to us that is not of the highest white light, of the highest vibration, please redirect it out into the universe to be transmuted for the collective good. And so it is. Let's see what, now this deck has, it's not traditional tarot, so there's some different elements or different objects that are being used for the four suits. So let's see what we get about this energy of immediate rewards when you release your fear and anxiety and worry. What does Spirit has for us today? What does Spirit have for us today? Okay, they're a little stiff. Let's see. The Hanged One and the Magician. Is that right? Okay, so we're talking about transmuting things. Somebody is alchemizing energy. 12 and a 1. These are beautiful. This one is also giving me like Aurora Borealis. And there's a polar bear here. A single solitary polar bear. Looking up. And then this one, it looks like a cave dwelling of some type. With ladders. Like somebody lives here. For there to be ladders. Somebody lives there or someone frequents this area. And this is where the alchemy happens. There's a pool of water there. There's light shining in. So this feels like whatever it is, it's blessed by God. I don't know why I'm getting that. But there's light shining down on both of these cards. For our overall energy, the Hanged One and the Magician, a change of heart, change of perspective, a new perspective on something that can be alchemized. Okay, what else? Okay, they're coming out 2 at a time, so they're so stick. 2 of Pentacles, the 2 of Stones, and the Hermit. So, this card is for some reason giving me like definitely desert, but it's giving me Middle East. Like, you could be Middle Eastern, could be from some country in that part of the world. But with the Hermit, 2 of Pentacles or 2 of Stones and the Hermit, somebody is taking their solitude, the time in solitude to balance something. Okay. So I'm going to shuffle these again and see if I can get them to stop sticking together. I mean, far be it from me to tell Spirit what cards I need, but just trying to see if that is the issue. I think I'm going to get... I actually double up on tarot and then also do the Lenormand. Let's see. Been carrying that deck from room to room for the past 3 days. I think I'm going to use it. Whoa, sorry. Sorry about that. I hit my mic stand. What else, Spirit? What else, Spirit? See, that's too many. Too minty. Okay, thank you. King of Spires, which is the King of Swords. It's a King of Swords. I love when the King of Swords cards are like, they're depicted as an icy, like snowy environment. This one is giving on top of Mount Everest. I keep getting references to Mount Everest. Like in the cards that I pull, commercials, there's something, there was some commercial I watched recently that, you know, showed somebody that's supposed to be at the top of Mount Everest has like reached the top of Mount Everest. A story about some folks that died there is coming across my social media feeds. Like somebody has climbed Mount Everest. Somebody has reached the peak of the most dangerous mountain to climb, the most dangerous and the most gratifying. Like you get to the top of this peak and you plant a flag. It's like, okay, I want people to know I was here. So there may be some element of like, that's the... I don't know. We'll see if the 6 of Wands comes out, but it feels like I want people to know what I've been through and what I've overcome. Is there another message, Spirit? Is there another message, Spirit? There's 2 cards. I'm going to take them both. 10 of Stones and the 2 of Spires. That's the 10 of Pentacles. and a Two of Swords. Somebody's made a decision about their legacy. Yeah, somebody's made a decision about their legacy. They want to... A Ten of Stones came out first. Or, in that order, if thinking about one's legacy makes you make a decision. Or, and swords are about communication, intelligence, right? Thoughts, more so than communication. Yeah, somebody is thinking about... It's giving me like there's starseed children that exist in the sky already. That's what it feels like. Those are pentacles, right? And there's a person at the bottom. I don't know if there's supposed to be somebody else in the car with the headlights on, but they're shining a light on something, on a pentacle, right? And then this one, there's a crossroads. Somebody is definitely at a crossroads about something, about someone, possibly. Don't know if this is a love reading yet, but we're going to see. What's at the bottom of the deck? The Knight of Stones, Knight of Pentacles. Keep pulling the Knight of Pentacles. So let's see. Think I'm going to... I'm going to use my deck. I'm going to use the Black Church Oracle. See what else we get from this. From this message. It's alchemizing happening. There's balancing. There's somebody that's been in hermit mode. Possibly still in hermit mode. Numerology speaking, we've got a 12 and a 1. Good. December 1st could be significant, or all the way around January 12th. Could be seeing 12s or 1s everywhere. We've got a 2 and a, what's the Hermit? 9. We got a 10 and a 2 here. It's another 12. Okay. And I don't know about y'all, but I like to number the court cards. So if I number this one, it's also a 12. If a page is an 11 after the 10 of stones. Is that accurate? I don't know. It's just something I like to do in my head because I love numbers. Yeah, so that's another 12, 12, 12, 12. You may be seeing 12, 12 on the clock a lot. I am. Magician is a 1. 1, 2, 9. King is a 14. 10 and 2. 10 and 2. That gives me like what they teach you in in driver's ed. I never took driver's ed. But because they didn't teach it in the little podunk country school I was going to in that town that we lived in, the last place my dad was stationed. But 10 and 2 is giving me driving. Somebody is driving in the driver's seat. I mean, if we're talking about a legacy and a 2 of swords or 2 of spires, it's somebody taking control of their destiny. Trying to think on this Knight of Stones or Knight of Pentacles imagery. So it's like we're looking out from inside of a barn of some type at the field outside. But let me see what I get from my Black Church Oracle for the Hanged One and the Magician. What can I clarify? The Hanged One and the Magician. Oh, wow. Funeral and Pastor. 414. That can be significant. I see 414 all the time. 414. Just on things stamped on trucks when I'm driving. 414. Funeral and Pastor. These cards, this is the Emperor. for one thing. And this funeral card is about a new beginning, clearly, which reduces to a 5. That's change. With the Hangman and the Magician. And the Emperor is also a magician right now. They're alchemizing something, male or female. It's Emperor energy. And a funeral, something has been put to rest. Something or someone has been laid to rest. Okay, 2 of Stones and the Hermit. Spiritual, not religious, that's 18. That's also the moon. It's parallel to the moon and the tarot. I'm gonna let you see these up close. So for this card to come out for the 2 of Pentacles and the Hermit, this is what somebody is doing, and it's a spiritual awakening for sure. Somebody's had a spiritual awakening, and that's a 9. A 9 and a 9. What about the King of Spires or King of Swords? And again, spiritual is not about religious. It's about you coming back to yourself. You know, like, that's all spirituality is. It's something that I learned in my own awakening. It's like God, or whatever your concept of God is in you. You know, like, that is you loving yourself. That is you finding God in everything and everybody as reflections of you. Because, I mean, your reality is from your own perspective. You can't prove that reality that you know, that you consider what's actually happening, what's actually surrounding you, the tangible, physical things that live in the space around you. Nobody sees them the same way. Nobody experiences life the same way that you do, because they can't. They can only see things from their own perspective. And if you realize that God as a concept, as a consciousness, is not about religion, it's not about what anybody else has to say, what any practices or rituals you do, it's inside of you already. We just, like a projector, we project what we believe. And people have projected belief in themselves out to other people and tried to monetize it. I'm not going to get too deep on that, but I hope that makes sense. So this is just like, you go within and you go into hermit mode so that you can find yourself. And when you find yourself and you love yourself, love is the highest vibration. When you love yourself, that's the closest you can get to God. So whoever I'm talking to, you've done this, or you're doing this, or you need to do this. It's important for you. Even if you go to church every Sunday, if you go to synagogue, if you go to a mosque, wherever you do, however you worship, if you are a religious person, if you believe in tradition, find God in you. You know, like, I think that's what we're supposed to do. That's how we go through this life, not falling for everything that we hear on TV or on social media or what other people tell us we're supposed to believe. You can practice tradition. You can uphold tradition. You can wear what you want to wear, live where you want to live, love who you want to love. But if you know that God is inside of you, you won't feel like you have to search for God outside of yourself. Okay. King of Swords. Best man. This is also like, also being your own best friend. I feel like it's the same theme. It's like when you find out, when you're on this peak by yourself and you realize that only you and God got you there. This is real meta, I know, but go with me. You and yourself, you and God. got you to the top of this mountain. You know, if you've really been through something, you understand that, like, sometimes you find that human beings that you thought you could rely on don't show up for you when you need something. They don't have what you need when you're in trouble, when you're in a bind, when you find yourself isolated and at the end of your rope. And it's not about you hating those people or finding out who your friends are. It's deeper than that. It's more like you find out that everything you have, everything that you need, comes from your belief in yourself, your belief in the Most High, and the Most High being you, being a reflection of the Most High. So if God can do it for you, that means you have everything you need inside of you. You have it and you believe it. And if you don't, let outside influences and other people's doubt. Sometimes you're being isolated from people because they will only make you doubt what you know. They'll make you doubt your intuition. God is intuition. So if you're alone, that nobody can interrupt or intercept your downloads. Nobody can intercept the messages that you're supposed to get from within. That's when you make the biggest impact on your own life. That's when you get the ideas that you're supposed to do. When you're reminded of what your purpose in this life, in this incarnation is. Whatever your purposes are. The best man is like somebody, male or female, it's not about gender. Somebody that has your back. It's somebody that is always there. Somebody that is going to tell you the truth when you need to hear it. When you do your shadow work, like for real, you got to tell yourself the truth. Because again, if you're isolated and there's nobody there to tell you anything negative, there's nobody there to tell you anything positive either. So you got to speak over yourself. That's something I hear in the Black church, and it's even a song. I know it's a scripture. But you got to speak over yourself. You have to encourage yourself when there's nobody else around to do it. And I'm saying this because I've done it. When I didn't think I could do it. Because I was listening to God. I was listening to me. You know, when the only voice I hear for hours and hours, sometimes days at a time, is my own, then I want that to be God. I'm listening for God. And it sounds like my own voice. Ooh, I hope that's making sense. I'm trying to make it make sense and not sound whack job, but if you get it, you get it. 10 of Stones and 2 of Spires. Or 10 of Pentacles and 2 of Swords. Please clarify that. Tambourine. Make a joyful, it's also a 9. Make a joyful noise. Tambourines were forbidden. And in the guidebook, I talk about how in a lot of Black churches, depending on the denomination, like musicians were not allowed. Like there was no music allowed. A lot didn't even allow singing. Sometimes you could sing a cappella with no musicians, no instruments, but some places didn't allow music at all. And how my mom was really instrumental in getting her father, who was her pastor, to allow somebody to come, her aunt, to come in and play the piano. So she was like one of the people that was part of her life's purpose, was to infuse her world around her with music. You know, so whatever that is for you, it may not be music. It may be something else. You might need to bring science to some arena. You might need to bring literary arts. You might need to bring visual arts, sculpture, or like robotics. I mean, whatever it is, whatever you're good at. That's what you're being called to tap into for your legacy. And it may require that you think differently about something. This duality, I'm hearing duality with the 2 of Swords, where there's like the figure on the card has to make, the traditional tarot has to make a decision, and a blind decision because they're blindfolded. And this card is, it looks like, you know, the top of this Even though, it's nowhere near as tall as Mount Everest from whatever vantage point this is. You got to make this decision at this crossroads. You're at the crossroads, but you're being guided towards this mountain. So you can go up there and plant your flag. Flags are also about independence. You might need to declare your independence from something or someone, from religion, from whatever that is. Or if you're religious, something inside of your religion, something in church. If, it's still not universal that all genders can be preachers. Like, it's so stupid. in some Baptist denominations, I think even Methodists, that they still are like, well, I don't think women can be preachers. I don't think women can lead. And I even have an uncle who buys into that shit. And it's really annoying. It's like he's trying to come around to it because it really is not his choice. And things are happening, without his input, which, that's life. Like, you have to get over yourself at some point, that things are going to happen around you if you try to stand in the way. But it's like, it's still happening in 2025. There are still gender-based prejudices in churches. And it's tired. Like, it's just, as an adjective, it's tired, it's stupid. But whoever you are, you're supposed to get ready to climb this mountain, because it has something to do with your legacy. And tambourines are not quiet. You can accidentally blow or look at a tambourine and it's going to make noise. Like, these little cymbals on the sides, they don't all have the little the little hide on the top, the drum. But tambourines make a lot of damn noise. A lot. And that's for a reason. Like, you're supposed to be able to summon folks. If you're summoning people in an army, you're summoning people to come and worship. If you're a gypsy, it's something that just like, you can be summoning spirits. I don't know, whatever you're doing or whatever you use it for, but they are not quiet instruments. You can't just even when you put it down, it makes another sound. It's like it has the last word. I'm trying to quiet this instrument. On a piano, you can stop pressing the keys and it stops making a noise. If you're on a guitar, you just hold the strings so they stop vibrating. With a tambourine, you put that thing down and it's still making noise. So, unapologetic. You're being called to do it unapologetically, because that's what's going to lead to your legacy. Maybe you're going to inspire a whole generation of people by not being quiet about something. Bottom of this deck is, and you're heavily protected. Archangel Michaela. Playing with gender in this deck. This is Archangel Michael in a feminine form. So, Michael is the leader of God's army of angels. Like, you are in for the fight of your life if you think you're going to fight Archangel Michaela. Like, it's done. Once the archangels get involved, and this may sound like fairy tales to you, but we're protected. If you believe you're protected, you are protected. There's so much that's involved in just believing, because that changes your vibration. It changes your thought patterns. It changes your optimism. You are changing your brain chemistry when you believe that these things are real. And I believe they're real. I think there's so many realms that we can't see. We can get so arrogant about our human existence and think this is the end all. Clearly it's not. Like, let's be real. Be for real. If you've seen any of the images from space, it's not just us. There's so much else out here. So allow yourself to believe in what seems irrational, what seems fantastical, right? Like, just, I'm not even going to do Lenormand. Just allow yourself to believe that things can happen, miracles can happen. Your perspective can change if you allow it. Let me pull from one more tarot deck. I'm going to use the, actually, let me use the, just pull the Hermit out the bottom of this deck. I have a red fairy tarot. Let me, you know what? Pull this deck out. So I'm going to use it. Let's see if we can get some confirmation on this, and I'm going to wrap it up. Try to keep this brief today. It's really rainy here in Georgia today. It was raining so hard and it was so dark outside. I overslept. I was supposed to get up. Luckily, my client didn't want to meet, but I almost overslept through her session today. And but yeah, the hurricane going through Jamaica. I'm having a hard time finding updates, but just praying for the people of Jamaica, anywhere near them, anything surrounding them, anything in Hurricane Melissa's path. I just praying for their safety. It's apparently the worst hurricane that they've ever had. It's pretty scary, and I know people there, some family members of some friends of mine. So all more reason to believe in miracles, right? So let's see what we get with a Hangman, the Magician, a Funeral, and Pastor. Let's tie this up, Spirit. What? The Nine of Swords. This card is about nightmares, supposedly, right? But is it though? This is something in your dream state. Something in your dream state is being tampered with. I just got a dream catcher today, so you might be in your head about this, because swords are about mental, your mental status, your intelligence. So even if you're having dreams, I'm struggling through this because I want to put it back in the deck, but I'm trying not to. I don't want to insert myself into this reading. So I'm going to let the Nine of Swords stand. It feels like an interception. So let me sit with it for a second. Not the good kind in football. But this card, this person looks like they're sleeping in spite of kind of weird. I'm trying to make out what this image is doing, but it's like they're sleeping in spite of this thing trying to scare them. That's what it feels like. So it feels like even if you're in the Nine of Swords, it's like it can't affect you anymore. So if you've alchemized a situation, you got a new perspective on it, then your nightmares wouldn't be that bad anymore. You know, if you're having crazy dreams, you're having vivid dreams, there's been an ending, the Emperor is on the scene. sound like Superfly. But yeah, your nightmares are, you still sleep. You can still sleep through the night, even though this ghost is trying to stand there and wake you up so you can jump scare you. But you still sleep. Like, that's okay. You can stand there. If you need to, some water, you can get yourself some water, or like, glide to the next room, or I don't know, sit down and wait for me to wake up. But I'm not letting this nightmare affect me anymore. Okay, what about Two of Stones or Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, and spiritual, not religious? Strength. Yeah. Somebody has gained strength through their spiritual awakening. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Is like you're supposed to go into hermit mode, isolate yourself so that God, you, can speak life into you, that you can face your shadow, that you can deal with all of the stuff that you've been putting off, that you've been distracted by. Which is another plug for being self-employed, is that when I'm alone and I can set my own schedule, I can schedule shadow work time. So it's like, you have all of the excuses when you're working a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 12, however late you work, how little or much you work. When you're distracted by work for other people, then you don't have time. And then by the time you get done and you're at home and you're dealing with yourself or whoever else you live with, spouses, partners, kids, pets, broken something, this or other, bills you got to pay, then you're not doing the work because you don't have time. You don't have the energy to do it. But when you allow yourself to go into a new reality, to have a new perspective, to boss up, to own the fact that you have conquered, emperors have conquered kingdoms. This is all of the kings combined, all of the kings' experience, all of the kings' strategic thinking. Emperors are no joke. You have I can't even find the words I want to say, but you have surpassed the level of king, ruler. You are creating a dynasty. You're creating a legacy that it's going to live on for so long, generations. I can't I am speechless. I can't think of words to say. It's so big. It's so big. I keep thinking of more ways to describe this, but you get this strength. You are endowed with this strength when you allow yourself to isolate and go into hermit mode and focus on your spirituality. Whatever that means for you. And even everything I'm saying, you can feel completely different about it. It can mean something completely different for you, but it comes from being alone. It comes from allowing yourself to just think without distractions. Folks say, well, I overthink too much, or I'm always in my head about something. The quality of that is what's important. If you're constantly in your head and overthinking, but it's worry, if you're worrying too much, that's not the same as overthinking. Over strategizing, over planning, that's one way of overthinking. Or when I'm trying to go to sleep and I'm anxious, so I'm thinking about everything under the sun. I'm at 3 a.m. I'm on Google trying to figure out why baby bottles are the same, what color they are, or just some random things. That's not the same as overthinking, over strategizing, planning for the art of war, planning for whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, for whatever you're attracting in, for whatever you want to accomplish. That overthinking is much different. It's a different quality of overthinking. Which, everything in moderation, of course, but you want some healthy overthinking. You want to be able to think through whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, what you need to do, what you want to do. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Best man and the King of Swords. The Emperor again, bruh. When I tell you, this energy is so... When you trust in the divine, when you trust yourself, you are unstoppable. You can climb any mountain. You can climb all of the mountains. You can conquer anything. You can establish dominion over anything. Anxious about going to a party? No. The Emperor is not anxious about going to, and this is not to put down people that have trouble with anxiety. I'm not doing that at all. I'm a therapist. I'm not going to shame anybody for that. It's what you do with it. Like and emperors are not without fear. Let me make that clear. Emperors are not, and empresses are not without fear. Nobody is without fear, because unless we are the top predator, whatever that is, since we don't live in the age of dinosaurs, then we're vulnerable. We're always vulnerable to something. We're vulnerable to car accidents, to people in vehicles hitting us when we're walking. Like, we're vulnerable to bacteria, things that we can't even freaking see. We're vulnerable. But it's just what you do in spite of the fear. Even with the fear. This is how these people get to emperor status. How you get to emperor and empress status is that you do it anyway. You do it scared. Do it scared. I saw, all these memes online. There's so many that there's no way to memorize them all. But one that really, really stuck with me is that you keep waiting to feel ready. And that's not a feeling. You're never going to feel ready, because it's an action. Right? They don't wait until they feel ready. They move. They advance. All right. Tampering with Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Spires or Swords is the Star. Wish fulfillment. 17. Wish fulfillment, magic, like in this card, the star is shining on this person. The starlight is shining on this person. It's also giving me starseed. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. And it's time to get into it. It's time to be rewarded. Even if you've done all of this, this can be a timeless reading. But if you've done all of this already, it's just confirmation. You are in the right place. You've done the right things. And the Two of Swords again. You got the Two of Swords twice. So, and this chick looks like a pirate, does she not? She looks like she's only blindfolded because I also get from this card, it's somebody fighting themselves, right? Like she's fighting herself on a decision. She's trying not to, she's blindfolded because she's trying not to even fool herself. I don't even want to try to sway myself from making a decision. I want to just make a decision. Right? And I always like to think of the before and after cards. The Ace of Swords is the truth, right? Two of Swords is, I got to make a decision about something. I want it to be the right one. I want it to be a good one, because I could end up in the Three of Swords and break my own heart. So it's like, you know what you need to do. You know what decision you want to make or what you should make. And you just have to do it. Because you know how it can end up if you don't. Whatever that decision is. If it's just about being yourself, taking a leap of faith. I don't have a full card out here, but might as well. Like, this is just all about being strong, gathering the strength, not being afraid of what used to scare you. Like, if you like me, I was scared of everything and everybody when I was little. Like, if you just talked about a scary movie, I would be crying and screaming. Everything scared me. So maybe you're overcoming that. You have overcome that. And it's time to be rewarded. So let's get a couple charms and wrap it up. It is so hard to make readings under an hour. I don't know how people do it. I really don't. Be right in my mouth. Okay. Cancer. Cancer could be significant. I don't know if y'all can see that. you or somebody you're dealing with, or just because of all this rain, I stretch it and think about the cups energy when it's raining. And I've been super emotional today, for obvious reasons, but it feels like I feel other people's sadness or emotions today. There's a unicorn. Magic. Believe in magic, y'all. So serious about that. And whatever it means for you, for if you're religious, believe in miracles. Believe in things happening that seem like they're impossible. Of course, the impossible happens every second. People overcome diseases. People are, they go back for a follow-up or a follow-up test or diagnostic exam, and they don't see cancer, or they don't see whatever illness or disease was present before. And there's no logical explanation. There's no medical explanation for it. People come out of accidents unscathed. I've had a few car accidents, and I'm still in one piece. Arthritis, yes, but I can still walk, talk, breathe. Like, it's just, there are miracles all around us. Babies. I went to a baby shower yesterday. Babies are miracles. Like, you can say it's all biology and science, but no, that's a miracle. It is a miracle. We have words to describe the process, but we can't recreate it. Cloning is not giving birth. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not the same. That's the Most High is involved in that. Okay, last one. Horseshoe. This decision, there's luck involved. So don't be afraid to make this decision, whatever it is. Make the mom's in another room cracking up. Make that decision, like, take that leap. We're just talking about leap of faith. You take a leap of faith, and when luck is on your side, you don't have anything to worry about. One more. I got 5 piles. Maybe I'm gonna get 2 more. Let me see if y'all can see these, if they show up on the cards if I lay them on these cards. Hope so. Got 4 piles, Lord. Y'all forgive me when I'm reading, and no, let me not even blame it on that. I have trouble with counting and numbers. It is so weird. It's not a form of dyslexia that I know of, but I know how to add. I promise I do. I know how to count, but it's some type of spatial issue that I've always had, where, like, I may look at something and I see 4, it's really 5. If I count, I got to start over, even if I touch it. Like, it's something, but whatever. Bear with me. I got 4 piles. I'm going to get 2 more charms, though, still. Scorpio. More water. More water. That can be really significant. We're in Scorpio season, so there's something significant about this time period, I'll say. And last one, Spirit. Let me tie this up. Believe in magic. Believe in luck and magic. Like, y'all, you don't go buy that lottery ticket. I got $150 in scratch offs I need to go cash in right now. This is a yoga pose. Haven't pulled this charm yet. See if I can hold it up to the camera if you can see. Check that out. So, of course, I'm not well versed in the actual Indian terms, so I don't want to mess it up. But this Vipassana, this stretch in yoga, aside from just being a great stretch for your body, your joints, your ligaments and all that, and good for breathing, it's like, it's very reverent. It's a great pose to do if you're just giving thanks, So I think whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to do, As long as you are operating in spite of your fear, and not necessarily doing things so that you get a reward, if that makes sense, but you're doing it because you know there's a reward in store. There's a difference. Like doing thankless jobs, you're doing it because you feel like it's right. You're doing it because you can help someone. You're doing it, feeding the homeless without having somebody set up with a camera, or just donating to charities because you're going to get a tax write-off. Like we're giving to charities because we want to help people that need things, like folks that are, and I don't even like to think of less fortunate, because we can all be less fortunate at some point in our lives. So it's cyclical. Everything is cyclical. You can be exactly where this supposedly less fortunate person is tomorrow. Like nothing is guaranteed. But if you believe in doing what you need to do with your life for your life's purpose, breathing through it all, stretching through it all, like believing in the luck and the magic, the miracles that are just waiting for you to find God in yourself and operate that way, you'll be so surprised how your life changes. And no, I'm not telling you to go quit your job, but I'm telling you to go quit your job. I'm telling you to give up on anything that doesn't serve you, anything that is not leading you towards your highest good, towards your highest self, your actual purpose. Like we're all shifting towards that. If you allow it, if you don't resist it, like it's so worth it, I promise. It's so worth it. Go and stake your claim your independence. Stay in hermit mode a little bit longer if you need to, if you don't feel like you're ready yet. But when you gather that strength, the whole world is waiting for you. It is. And the world needs more of it. Let me tell you. How many times can we say that we all need to do more to uplift each other, to raise the vibration of this planet, to raise the vibration of the human race, because we are in some mess right now. Like a lot of people are giving up and just trying to accept that that's where we are and we just deal with it. No, we don't. And I was talking about amputations earlier with my Palo Santo. Like they come home without limbs. But this is not the kind of army that we're building right now. Thank God for their sacrifices. I don't know what kind of person that takes, but I have so much respect for them. I don't care what anybody thinks about military folks. I have so much respect for them. I couldn't do it. But this is what I can do. I can be in this army. I can be in this army under Archangel Michael, Michaela, whoever you want to think of as, God's strongest, baddest angel. But we can lead a spiritual war. I don't even like the word war, but just this progression, this ascension. And it requires that you do everything you can to be yourself. I mean, I don't know how. I hope it's landing the way that I mean it to. Being yourself is being a warrior. Especially now when we have so much in our faces all the time about why we shouldn't be ourselves, why we should look like somebody else, why we should want somebody else's destiny, why we should all be rappers, why we should all have a makeup line. Like it's exhausting. And thank goodness people are realizing like who I am is better than anybody else I could pretend to be. All right, I can talk forever, so I'm going to stop. I hope this makes sense. I hope it's helpful to somebody. And if it is, please like and subscribe and share. I'm getting over my fear of being seen in this way. I'm seen in many other ways in my life, but this is new. So I'm trying to walk the talk. Let yourself be seen, y'all. Our lives depend on it, quite literally. Okay. Thank you. Love y'all. This is from my imagination to yours.